and I'm talking with my friend John from New Mexico, from New Orleans. We've known each other for years and years and years, and we've worked together, and we'll probably work together in the future. And go ahead. About 9/11.
For a fact. I mean, you know it, Clay. I'm not preaching the gospel to you. I mean, without a doubt, there's not a single person that doesn't know the government had foreknowledge of 9/11. No ifs, ands, or buts. The evidence is overwhelming. I know the other stuff we discussed, and yeah, I have my question, but there is not a single person that should be walking the street today that shouldn't at least accept that part. Nobody. Nobody should. I mean, you look up, are you familiar with Link TV, Clay?
I don't have TV.
Okay. Well, it's good. Link TV is an independent station. I get it on DirecTV. That's the only place you can get it. Anyway, they do a lot of interesting documentaries, although they're a little pro. You get a different perspective with them, although they're a little more pro-Palestinian, and I'm not against that. You know, because I believe in order to get the truth, you got to listen to everything. Right. You got to watch everything, see everything, and then the truth is hidden in between. They have news called the European Journal, very good. They have Mosaic World News, excellent. They have Al Jazeera, because you get their perspective. You get the Arabic perspective, and I want that. I want that. But they do a lot of excellent documentaries. I mean, excellent. But they did one 9/11 Press for the Truth. If anybody had any doubts that the government did not have foreknowledge, now this is as done as well as it can get. These people use the mainstream media, their quotes, Congress, the whole shebang. They use it all. This is the best. There's not. Have you heard about the Jersey housewives? The ones who all lost their husbands from 9/11?
I've heard a mention of them, yes. Elucidate.
Well, this is what it's built around, those people. They actually had, and these people just, not right-wing, not left-wing, they're just regular Americans that lived normal lives until they lost their husbands. Another man that's on there, you can look at the guy. The guy would no more be where you and I are than a man in the moon. He's probably a guy, the government never did any wrong until he lost his son at 9/11. And they started investigating, and they got investigating. This is, anybody.
This is what they're scared of right now.
This should be shown to the entire world. Unfortunately, the only place you can get it is on Link TV.
This is what's happening right now. People are waking up. People are getting involved. That's why they're going to the tea parties. That's why they were there on that parking lot to see Gabrielle Gifford. And one of the guys that tackled the shooter did have a gun. He just didn't use it. They just took him down without it.
Oh, they did? Okay, I wouldn't know. You're closer to home than that's your backyard right there. You live in Tucson, so
that's right.
I'm open. Like I said, any knowledge you can feed to me about that, I'm listening.
Well, that's what we're trying to get. Now, somebody from, I think Gabrielle Gifford, somebody in Gabrielle Gifford's office set her up and set this guy up because they had the link. Then they showed the link on the YouTube. His YouTube videos were still up yesterday. And there was a link on Gabrielle Gifford's website. There was only 2 people that she had subscribed to on YouTube. Thank God I wasn't one of them. But she...
What's right about that?
They wouldn't do that because they don't want me to have the publicity.
Well, that may be true, but you spend all you'd be doing is doing backpedaling. Even though we know better, you'd still be doing backpedaling. So the publicity, I've heard from people I used to work with in the media. There's no such thing as bad publicity. I question that statement, but on what you're saying, I guess that might be true too.
Well, you know, John, they've always what they used against me at the NAACP website was that Clay Douglas. He was in the militia. He helped start the militia. He was in the Free American, promoted the militia. Yeah, no shit. Yeah, I did that. So what can I do? I can't go back and sue them for slander because I did that. What they just don't tell you is that that's every American between the ages of 18 and 45 is the militia. I mean, we're not all the bad guys, are we?
No, but I mean, at the same time, you have to understand something, okay? And you know, it's sad. This is really sad. Okay? And being of Jewish descent, they had a racial bone in my body. Okay? But the problem with today is when somebody tells the truth, you're racist.
That's right. That's what they try to say.
You're racist. When you tell the truth, no matter what it is, you're racist. I mean, I've got a friend of mine that's a doctor who was my doctor. I think you know who I'm talking about. You've heard me talk to him on the phone. Who was my doctor and who's black and was my doctor. Got that so far, took care of me. Black doctor, right?
Yeah.
So I should tell you, I'm not racist, right?
Right.
But I can't discuss the problems with Obama with him because the black people are so happy to have a black man who's half white, and the president, you can't talk to them. They're blinded by it. And I can understand their enthusiasm. I can understand it. But they're blinded, so you can't get anywhere with them. You can't talk to the black people about it. They can't see that there's more to this guy than meets the eye.
Well, we got the same problem. We got the same problem with Jews. I mean, if you say anything about communists or Jews being communists, suddenly you're anti-Semitic. And I don't think you're communist. You know, it doesn't matter.
Well, I mean, let's face it. Let's get right down to it. Lenin was a Jew.
Yes.
His mother was Jewish, and under Jewish law, he's a Jew.
Yes.
Okay?
And Marx, Karl Marx.
Okay, hold it. What was the guy, what was his name again? The one that Stalin was afraid he'd take over and had him murdered in Mexico, Trotsky?
Trotsky, yes.
Yeah, he was a Jew.
Yes.
He was a Jew. Those were the main promoters of communism in Russia.
Yes.
And the people, you gotta call things what they are.
The people that were in charge.
I mean, it's not a question of anti-Semitic, but I mean that's the way they will spin it. Just like if they got a hold of this, the man was my black doc, and it's gonna be hard, but they'll find a way to spin it. They'll find a way to spin it. See, I'm ready to come out of the seclusion. Okay, and get into the limelight again.
Well, it's about goddamn. It's about damn time.
Well, I've been fighting these cases with all the corruption in New Mexico, and I'm here to tell everybody. I'm from Louisiana. We're known to be corrupt. Let me tell you something. Louisiana is a student. In fact, I said years ago, student to New Mexico. I said years ago. Now, I don't know if I ever said it at the time. No, I didn't. I said it after this happened, and I looked at this place and saw the way this place had to be a test ground for the New World Order, because it is exactly the way the New World Order wants the people to be in this country. These people, sad as it is, they exist. That's it. They eat, they sleep, they have sex. Alright? And that's it. They have no ability to think. They have no ability. They exist.
Well,
I remember just this one thing. I went to the doctor recently, and I was sitting there, and because I've had a lot of problems with my blood pressure fluctuating, okay? So I'm telling the doctor what's wrong and everything, and she says, well, I think a lot of it, which has forced me now to officially quit smoking for good, but I did. But I think a lot of it is from what you're under. And I'm telling her. So anyway, she's taking blood, and then Dave's sitting there, and she's walking around quiet, and then she turned around. Mr. Schwartz, everything you just told me about this place, I've seen it for years. I said they do it on purpose. They keep these people ignorant so they can do anything they want. She says, I see it everywhere. It really upsets me. This place, I don't have no evidence. But just on my knowledge, and our knowledge of what we know, this place had to be a test ground for the world government. Had to be. Go ahead, Clay. I'm sorry.
That's all right. That's all right. I want to tell you. You mentioned the chemtrails. Now there is a blizzard going on in the South. I just saw videos of people skiing down the hills in Atlanta. There's a blizzard going on. And in the South and in the North. I mean, there is a tremendous cold weather and everything happening. And in Arkansas, they right on the New Madrid Fault. Now, Colonel John Brinkerhoff mentioned in my video, True Face of FEMA, he mentioned the New Madrid Fault. What if there's an earthquake, you know, on the New Madrid Fault? Now they've got an exercise plan, kind of like they did with 9/11. They've got an exercise plan with FEMA on the New Madrid Fault. Well, we're going to pretend there's going to be an earthquake. We're going to pretend there's an earthquake. Now with the chemtrails,
hold it, stop. There was one. Did you hear about? I believe it was about a week ago, a little bit longer. They had a 3.8er in Indiana. Did you hear about that? That's right on the fault line.
That's right. They
had a 3.8er in Indiana. Do a search on it. You'll find it.
Now, if we know that Tesla told us he could create earthquakes, we know that HAARP might be related to the earthquakes in Haiti and other places. So they may have
possibility exists.
Also they're coming out in Abu Dhabi or someplace like that. Back east, one of these Mideastern countries, they are now turning the desert into arable land by generating thunderstorms, by generating rain. They've engineered 50 rain showers by something about the ionization. So if they can do it over there, they can do it over here. Now we've got all of the snow in the south. It's paralyzing our food. It's paralyzing our trucks. The trucks they're not running well, and I think they're setting us up for an earthquake here.
Well, I'll give you another point on that, which I'm sure you will agree with this possibility. You saw Jesse Ventura's thing on oil spill. Did you see it?
I believe so.
Hello?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. And this is plausible. This is plausible. Well, we know the oil, quote, they said disappeared. It didn't disappear. They're using, what is that chemical that makes it go under? That stuff they're using is so toxic, it's unbelievable. Correction is the name of it. Correction, thank you. What they think has happened. And it makes logical sense, okay? Because I remember all my science classes and physics and all that. The oil has drifted out and hit the North American current, okay? Now, the one thing about the day after tomorrow, and which is very scientific fact, you start messing with the North American current, you can just disrupt the whole weather patterns, especially in Europe. Europe just had, England is having the worst winter it had in over 200 years. The possibility exists. I'm just throwing this synopsis at you, Clay. I don't know how you feel about it. If that oil got out there and got into that current, scientifically, you mess with that thing, you could create severe weather problems. That's the other issue, and that, you know, look what's going on in the eastern board. Look what's going on in the south. Hell, it's snowing so bad in Louisiana. I saw this morning; it was unbelievable. Of all places. So that's another possibility. I'm not denying the HAARP thing. Believe me, I know all about HAARP. You and I have known about HAARP for almost 20 years.
Well, if they tie this all together, and if HAARP's being used to possibly start an earthquake or trigger an earthquake, you know, that's and they're setting us up. They're setting us up for the police state. They've been doing this all along. Everything they've done from
yeah, but
Oklahoma
they're accelerating, Clay. I've never seen it like this. On TSA, I mean, every time I turn around, it's something. Look at what the California is known to have one of the best court systems in the country. Believe it or not. When the California Supreme Court said it's legal for police to take your cell phone and monitor your stuff, get real. Where is the privacy issue? I mean, come on. Take your cell phone that you own from you and look at it and see what you've done? Something's wrong. I mean, look at all the stuff, the TSA stuff. Now they're talking about putting the video screens in Walmart, report on. I mean, this is George Orwell, 1984. Now they got this poor woman, poor congresswoman who's innocent victim of some nutcase who's been shot, and now they're attacking. I knew as soon as I saw the shot. As soon as I saw it, Saturday, I said they're going to use this to attack the First and Second Amendment. Sure enough, Yahoo, that next morning, early in the morning, I'm reading this article, hate speech on the internet.
Right.
People, Second Amendment. I mean, but how many people saw that, Clay? I know you figured it out.
Yep.
How many people actually saw what they were going to do?
Okay, one other thing that's up here. The fish and birds are dying up in Arkansas, right along this.
I want to talk to you about that. I want to talk about. Let me hit you. I got into more detail. This is happening all over the world, Clay.
Nice for you to call. Nice that you called in, John. I appreciate that.
Well, hold it. I have a theory on this, and again, throw at me what you got. This is why we have free speech, isn't it?
That's right.
But at least when we discuss something, we got some facts to support it. It's not something we pulled out of our rear end because we like the way it sounded. I got a theory. What I saw yesterday, I saw a video of death. I'll send you to it later. You know where to go. Trends 2012. But this was an interesting article. They didn't tie them together, but they talked about this is apparently the bird thing has happened in Arkansas, Louisiana, Texas, Sweden, and recently, then the one you got to see on 2012 you want to watch is 8,000 doves fall from the sky in Italy. This is the dove. Now, the fish thing in UK, they found over 40,000 crabs dead on the beaches. 20 or 40,000, it's something like that, but it's a high numbers. And New Zealand, redfish dead everywhere. Chesapeake Bay, 100,000 fish dead. Okay? Arkansas, drums, you know about that. Wait, I'm trying to think of all the places, but I saw the whole thing. They had it all laid out, and I'm looking at it. But what ties, I saw something that caught my eye. They had to shut down Tampa Airport. Now, they said they're going to shut down, but they're not going to elaborate on this. But if you get into your biology and your physics, this makes sense. See, birds and fish, all right, let's take it this way. Birds and fish, when you walk outside, your dog can sense somebody coming in the house before you can, right?
Yep.
Your cat can do the same thing. Birds and fish are twice as sensitive. If a fish is by the water and you even touch the water, that thing's gone. A bird, you could walk up to the tree, see, boom, they're gone. Their sensitivities are even greater than most mammals, most animals, most anything. We're on the low end on the sensitivity level. What I read, the reason it shut the magnetic pole, North Magnetic Pole of the Earth. Okay, this was on Yahoo. I read this, and then I saw a thing with Tom Brokaw about it. It's moving too rapidly. So they had to shut the airport at Tampa. They shut other ones down, but they're not going to publicize that. I'm thinking if this is happening, it might have been direct effect with the fish and the birds and all that. I'm not beating the drum about it, but scientifically it makes sense, Clay. It makes sense. Because they'd be the first ones that would feel the effect. Because their sensitivity levels are much greater than most mammals or animals, or us. And they would be the first ones, which would kind of bring us into because I've done a lot of study on the 2012 issue. We are going to face solar flares. The planets are going to line up. Nobody knows what's going to happen, and I'm not saying it's the end of the world. I didn't say that. What I'm saying is, last time the planets lined up, it was before anybody was here. So nobody knows what's going to happen. Everybody knows the sun's getting hotter, which is going to affect the EMP, our computers and everything.
By the way,
this is occurring. Go ahead.
For the folks in the South, in Louisiana, and those people skiing there in Atlanta, some of the scientists are saying global warming is bullshit. We're headed into an ice age, and what you mentioned about the Gulf Stream, the oil in the Gulf Stream could have disrupted the flow of the Gulf Stream, and that's causing some of the cold weather. But we could slide into an ice age.
The Gulf Stream controls the weather patterns in Europe, Clay.
That's right.
It controls it, literally.
That's right. Now, they also said that a bird was found with, and its body appeared literally to have exploded as if it had been cooked alive in a microwave oven. they've got one. Somebody pointed me to one article where they're talking about a microwave, possibly from space, a microwave weapon being tested down on planet Earth. And
hey, look, I'm open to everything, Clay. Okay, I'm seeking the knowledge. I don't claim to have the answers. I'm just seeking it.
What I'm trying to tell you is that they have, and this involves Gabrielle Gifford too. Her husband is in the space program. Her husband is an astronaut, and there is a secret military weapon in space right now that nobody can talk about. This is, they put that up, I think it was a week or two ago, and it's super classified, so nobody's talking about it. But when you have birds, when you have...
I'm going to have to search, I'm going to have to look for it. Have you done any research or tried to find anything out?
No, I mean, we're all they have said is that the military has a experimental weapon in place, or they've done something that's totally classified, and so they're not making any announcements. They're not talking about it, but something is happening up there, and I stumbled through that because of Gabrielle Gifford's husband being in that chain. So. Maybe shooting her was a message to him.
It might be. I don't know. I mean, there's all kind of possibilities here. And the key to this is keeping everything open, keeping all your options open, and looking at everything like you're talking about right now. I mean, you can't, in the search for the truth, you've got to be open to everything until it proves beyond a doubt it's not true. Okay? Just like you're supposed to find... When you find somebody guilty, you find them guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You know, there's something you'll really enjoy. And you and I have talked about this, I think. You know what I love about the conspiracy thing? Okay? I enjoy it so much. You'll have 30 people that were directly and indirectly involved in some of that conspiracy theories. You know what it takes to get convicted by the federal government for conspiracy? You and I talking on the phone? That's hearsay. If you and I are sitting there talking out on the street and a third person hears what we're saying, that's conspiracy. So all it takes is one other person. How can it be a conspiracy when 20 or 30 people who are involved or have access to that information are conspirators? Well, you could send somebody to prison just on one other person saying, we said this.
Well, that's exactly what's happened. That's exactly what's happened with Edgar Seal. One snitch who worked as a snitch for the FBI went to the FBI and said, "Oh yeah," after stealing $50,000 worth of silver from Edgar Steele, went to the feds and said he gave me that to kill his wife.
Well, yeah, that's my point. Point well taken. But they spin it. And they spin it.
That's right.
That's my point. This thing's what I just said. You'll have 20 or 30 people out there saying that were involved or were there, but they're conspiracy nuts.
That's right. And that's
if you had 20 or 30 people said that Clay and Leo said something, you and I wouldn't see the light of day from prison.
Well, they don't have to tap my phone. They can hear everything right on the internet on my.
Well, I understand, but you know what the point I'm getting to. That's the point I'm getting to.
John, I appreciate you.
It's just how ridiculous it's gotten and how people just can't open their eyes and look.
Stay with me here. Stay with me here. I gotta shut this thing down, folks. Go to my website, freeamerican.com. Get the latest information. Order some of my books. Mystery Babylon will give you the history of the whole bankster plan, along with the connections with the CIA and the Mossad to the drug dealing in America. This is a great way to do it, ain't it, John? You bring in the drugs here. You if anybody gets out of line, they're the ones that get picked up, and the CIA and the Mossad are making the money off of it. They're flying the cocaine into Albrook Air Force Base and flowing it up to Mena, Arkansas, so they can sell it to you, so you can provide fodder for the.
What do you think goes on right there in your backyard?
Yes, sir.
That base right down there, you can go there at 12, 1 o'clock in the morning and sit out there with some infrareds and watch what you see unloaded.
That's right. All right. John, my friend John, from New Orleans originally, been a subscriber of mine for years, worked with me, and I hope to work with him again. God bless you all, and stay with me here.
Call recording has been completed.
Okay, where am I here?
Your recording's been completed.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
I had fun, Clay.
Yeah, that was fun. And you know, I'm just wondering what I was going to talk about. So, your timing was just perfect.
Well, we talked about just about everything. Have we solved the world problems?
You know,
I mean, we attacked just about every issue in some form or the other. We gave all kind of different points of fact, which are both of us have researched about, so it gave people a lot to think about. Whoever's listening, it gave them a lot to think about, look at. You know, true.
That's right. Let me, one more I got to do here.
Okay, go ahead.
Let me stop my recording here.